Cardi B just scored her second #1 album. And instead of congratulations, Nicki Minaj came out swinging. Deleted tweets, savage rhymes, and even AI memes. The feud that shook Fashion Week years ago is back in full force. But this time, the insults went way beyond music. From family scandals to criminal pasts, both rappers pulled out receipts no one expected. So the real question is this about album sales, or is it about something much bigger? It all started with what should have been a celebration. Cardi B had just dropped her highly anticipated project, Am I the Drama? And in its first week, the album exploded to the top of the Billboard 200. Over 200,000 units sold in just 7 days, making it Cardi's second #1 album. For most artists, that's a moment of pure victory. But instead of applause, Cardi got shade. Nicki Minaj, who's been in the rap game for over a decade and is known for her sharp tongue both in music and online, suddenly broke her silence on X. After weeks of being quiet, she reappeared with a wave of posts that had fans instantly buzzing. Nicki wasn't congratulating Cardi, she was questioning the numbers. In a string of since-deleted tweets, Nicki accused Cardi of inflating her sales and mocked the album's promotional price of just $4.99. To Nicki's supporters, it was classic Minaj wordplay, the kind of pettiness that keeps her trending. But to Cardi's fans, it looked like jealousy dressed up as jokes. Either way, the spark was lit, and the internet was about to witness round 2 of one of hip-hop's messiest rivalries. Once Nicki started, she didn't hold back. The tweets came one after another, each one sharper than the last. She began with a simple $4.99, a jab at Cardi's discounted album price, as if to say her success only came because of a bargain bin strategy. That one line alone got retweeted thousands of times, but Nicki wasn't finished. She pulled out nicknames, dubbing Cardi Barney Dangerous, and twisted Cardi's own lyrics into mocking rhymes. One read, "Surgery to look like me, tell the rat and tell Jay-Z, Rico fraud and perjury." Another was even more cutting. "Fallen off the charts with a big belly, running trains barefoot, still smelly. Still you, could not outsell me." It was part rap battle, part comedy roast, and she didn't stop at words. Nicki posted an AI-generated picture of Cardi dressed as Barney, suggesting she rapped like a purple dinosaur. For her fans, it was savage humor. For Cardi's, it was low blows. One thing was clear. Nicki came prepared to turn Cardi's celebration into a battlefield. But if anyone thought Cardi would stay quiet, they forgot exactly who she is. Cardi didn't waste time. The moment Nicki's posts hit the feed, Cardi was firing back with her trademark mix of humor and heat. Her first move set the tone. She laughed it off, letting everyone know she was literally in the kitchen baking ribs and blondie brownies when Nicki decided to come for her. "Nothing more annoying than a bored B-teach," she posted, brushing Nicki's insults aside like background noise. It was a jab, but also a flex. Cardi wasn't stressed, she was multitasking, but the jokes quickly turned sharp. Cardi pointed out that Nicki had been quiet for months, only to pop up the second "Am I the Drama?" dropped. "You must have missed me, huh, crazy? Now kiss my feet," she wrote, flipping the narrative back on Nicki. From there, things escalated. Cardi made it clear she wasn't just laughing this off. She was ready to go post for post. Every time Nicki lobbed an insult, Cardi swung back harder. And that's when the feud left the music behind and hit Nicki where it hurt most, her family. What began as playful shade turned into all-out war. Cardi didn't just clap back, she brought receipts. Her first big strike? She posted the mugshot of Nicki's brother, Jelani Mirage, who was convicted in 2017 for predatory assault and sentenced to 25 years to life. To make it even more pointed, Cardi edited the photo by slapping a bright pink wig on his head, a not-so-subtle reminder of his connection to Nicki. Fans were stunned. Some called it savage, others called it crossing the line. But Cardi didn't stop there. She dragged Nicki's husband, Kenneth Zoo Petty, into the fight, reminding everyone of his criminal record and status as a registered offender. She even crafted a rhyme that made the internet explode. A B, C, D, E, F, G. Your man have to snatch P, Y's P. We taste like honeycomb. Your bro be touching 12-year-olds. The reaction online was immediate. Half of social media was gasping at how far Cardi went, while the other half was laughing at the sheer brutality of it all. Nicki's original jokes suddenly seemed small compared to Cardi's full-on demolition. By now, this feud wasn't about music, streams, or chart positions. It was personal. Reputation, family, and pride were all on the table, and Cardi wasn't done yet. After dragging Nicki's personal life, Cardi shifted gears back to the one thing Nicki had tried to discredit: her success. Billboard had already confirmed it. Am I the drama? Debuted at #1 with over 200,000 units sold. No gimmicks, no tricks, just numbers. Cardi used that to her advantage, turning Nicki's shade into proof of her power. "Why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag that you think it is," she wrote, before hitting Nicki with the line that had everyone talking. "You been in the game like 16 years? You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time." And then Cardi dropped the hammer. She listed names like Rihanna, Drake, and Taylor Swift, artists who'd been topping charts since the early 2000s. "I was in high school when you came out. WTF is you comparing yourself to me for?" It was a role reversal. Instead of defending her spot, Cardi flipped it, putting Nicki on trial. The internet couldn't stop debating. Was Cardi right to call Nicki out, or did Nicki still deserve the crown she'd worn for over a decade? As with every rap beef, the fan bases turned into armies. Cardi's supporters turned her clapbacks into viral memes, celebrating her second #1 album like a championship win. Meanwhile, Nicki's barbs went to war online, defending her legacy and insisting she had nothing left to prove. But another theory began circulating. Nicki had been silent for weeks, only to suddenly reappear with a flood of tweets the very weekend Cardi hit #1. Coincidence? Some fans didn't think so. They pointed out that Nicki just happened to be teasing her own new album, set to drop in 2026. To those fans, this looked like strategy: stir controversy, grab headlines, and make sure her name stayed trending. Others dismissed it, saying this was simply Nicki being Nicki, outspoken, unfiltered, and unwilling to let anyone else shine without clapping back. Whatever the case, one thing was certain: this wasn't just a spat. This was a continuation of a rivalry that had already gone down in history. To really understand why fans hang on every tweet, you have to look at the history. This feud isn't new. It's been brewing for years. Back in 2018, during New York Fashion Week, Cardi and Nicki got into an infamous physical altercation. What was supposed to be a glamorous night turned into chaos, with Cardi hurling a shoe at Nicki and leaving with a knot on her forehead. That moment went viral worldwide, and ever since, the two have been locked in a cycle of subs, interviews, and shady lines. For Nicki, the narrative has always been about defending her title. She spent years dominating the female rap scene, opening doors and setting records. For Cardi, the story has been about proving herself, exploding into superstardom, winning a Grammy, and securing back-to-back #1 albums. Two women at the top of their game, constantly compared, constantly pitted against each other. Every diss feels like more than just a joke. It's another chapter in a rivalry that fans know will never really go away. So what's this really about? On the surface, it's album sales, but underneath it's about pride, legacy, and who gets to hold the crown in female rap. Cardi celebrated a second #1, Nicki reminded the world she's still the queen of controversy, and fans got the messy showdown they've been waiting for. But here's the truth. Both women know exactly what they're doing. Cardi thrives in chaos, Nicki thrives in drama, and every time they collide, the internet can't look away. The question isn't whether this feud is over, it never is. The real question is, who's going to land the knockout punch in the next round? Because if history has taught us anything, this isn't finished, it's just reloading.